Welcome to the Ska History Hour with your hosts, Jose Rojas
Hello.
and myself, Daryl Rubio, wherein the purpose of this channel is to spread awareness of ska music and its subgenres to the world. Our guest today, so far, is a member, lead singer of Codename Rocky, Justin Pacone.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Uh, Justin, we appreciate the time you're taking to share your stories and your music with us to the ska community. We may or may not have Bill Adams on. He may be running a little late, but we're going to go ahead and interview the man here. Uh, so you've been around Codename Rocky for quite a while. Uh, the band started around 1995, is that correct?
Yeah,
Around 95, out of the Orange County area, or was it the Pico area?
Pico Rivera.
Pico Rivera. Okay, got it. Can you please describe your band's sound to us?
I would say punk with horns a lot of the time. We get the ska mixed in there, but we're a lot faster than a lot of like the third wave Orange County bands of the time.
Got it. Okay. Now, I see here that you guys have released three full-length albums, um, two EPs, and a demo tape.
Yep.
Now, the first album I see is No Time to Waste. This is not the demo tape. No Time to Waste. It was released on Microcosm Records.
Yeah.
Second one, Infinity, was released on Glue Factory. And I remember Glue Factory because I dealt with I forgot the guy's name who owned it with the Op Ivy thing to have the hippos on there. The Op Ivy
Oh,
tribute.
okay. Yeah, the
Yeah,
tribute. Yeah.
yeah, the tribute one there. The third one was Reboot. You did that with Kevin over at Kinky Control. Kevin was the singer of One Eye Open. He's now the singer with Skapesh Mode. Uh, and the most recent, you have Foundation and Blueprint. They're both EPs. They've got about what, five or six songs on each one, and they're like yin and yang. Is that what it's kind of like?
So we're kind of building something here. So we got some more EPs coming out. We're gonna start recording in the summertime. So this is kind of a progression. So we have Blueprint was the first one we put out, and now we've kind of laid the foundation, and we got some more coming up end of the year.
That's pretty awesome. I
Nice.
like that
Nice.
Blueprint and then Foundation. Someone an architect in the band or something?
No, it just kind of came about. And funny enough, our trumpet player, one of our trumpet players, Lewis, his wife's actually an architect. So he kind of helped us with some of the verbiage on how it goes.
Got it. And then
Yeah, I was
also
going to ask.
no,
Oh,
before
go
that,
ahead.
to piggyback on the same question, just because it's one of the same ones, can you guys tell us about, or can you tell us about the changes from label to label? Because I see that you guys did a lot of different ones and then had ended up on um, Wiretap. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, currently on Wiretap. Last two releases on Wiretap. Our next release will definitely be on Wiretap as well. Um, the last one, Reboot, was completely independent. The band recorded it all on their own. Um, and released it out on their own and everything like that. So, yeah, that one was a code name Rocky through and through on that one. And we did some stuff with Kevin over at Kinky Control as well, and he was awesome. We still do a lot of our merch and stuff like that with him. And he's not really doing a whole lot of the label side stuff, and Wiretap was there and interested, and that's been a lot of fun being on with them and Goodwin Club, and we made some friends on there for sure.
yeah, I just talked to him. I think it was earlier today, just about the because the Goodwin Club was released, also same as Codename Rockies
Mhm.
album there too to see what he's got available there.
Yeah.
Uh, Go ahead, Jose. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna just touch about those albums, the artwork. Um, the two covers look similar, right? Is that like a
Right.
theme? And who did the artwork?
So our drummer Drew, he did the artwork for both. Yeah, and you'll start to see a theme kind of build. I think it'll become a little more evident on the next one.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. I like it. I like the architectural. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Do you want to go to the
But
second question, Jose?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I usually ask you because I'm a band geek. Were you guys in a high school band? The horn section.
I know Lewis, our trumpet player, absolutely was. I don't believe Bill was though. Rich was, and Ivan was as well. So I think Bill's kind of the only one. He just kind of picked up a trumpet and figured out how to play
Nice,
it.
nice, nice. Um, Want to go ahead and get Daryl?
Sure. So for you personally, uh, when you first got into the ska scene, we briefly discussed this off camera, but
Yeah.
um, who did you first hear? What was the first band that you hear when you're learning about this punk and ska genre, either just the ska or just the punk or the mixture of both?
So the first band I actually heard was Say Ferris. My cousins used to take me to shows. They were older than me. They were in high school. I was in seventh grade. And they were people that, my parents would trust me to go off with, and no big deal. And their uncle on the other side of their family was friends with like Mashburn and all those guys from Ferris. So they were really the first ones that I heard because they were kind of related a little bit, but then my first show was My Superhero and the Aquabats. I was
Nice.
12. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good show to be your first.
Yeah, man. It was a lot of fun. I just remember my cousin telling me if you get sucked in the pit, high knees, high elbows. I said, okay.
Nice.
Or
Nice.
just the fetal position in
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah. A fight or flight would have kicked in. Who knows what would have happened.
Exactly.
Now, where does the name Codename Rocky come from?
So it's actually the band was trying to think of a name, and they were looking through a newspaper for anyone who knows what a newspaper is. And Code Name Rocky was the name of a racehorse in the sports section. And
Oh.
I think the demo tape that they did is actually the label says something about like glue records or something like that, and it was in reference to like when horses die they become
Mhm.
glue. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Cool, cool,
that's
cool.
why it was good to for that album released on Glue Factory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's full circle.
I
Yeah.
for some reason I thought that it was like Stallone as Rambo trying
Mhm.
to be codenamed as
Okay.
Rocky. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was my whole take on the whole thing. But I'm sure everyone's got their own thing. Now we know the truth.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, cool.
So you guys have been playing around a lot lately. Last time I personally saw you guys was at that Summer Sizzler, which was actually the 20th anniversary of the band
Right.
at that time. You
Yes.
guys are on 23 years now, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
23 years and coming up on the 25 year of the first album.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's some longevity there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You don't hear much of that. Can you tell us about the songwriting process for the band? And should we be expecting any new material in the near future? I know you told us off camera, but
Sure. Yeah, most definitely. So majority of the music is written by our bass player Matt. And he will kind of demo everything out at his house, guitar, bass, and then like program some drums on there. Throws it out to the band, and myself and our drummer Drew get together and write the lyrics typically. Every so often he'll write one on his own, or I'll write one on my own, but for the most part we did it together. um and we actually, during COVID, when everything was shut down, between the three of us, we wrote almost 20 songs. So Drew and I had like a standing date night every Tuesday where we were demoing out, whatever song Matt shot us that week, kind of thing. And so we did that, and now that's where Blueprint came from. That's where Foundation came from. And we're gonna start recording here, hopefully at the end of summer, and have something out by the end of the year is the plan.
are you guys gonna record over at Prime Royal with Rich?
So we were actually talking to Rich. We are going to record just a one-off, what do you call it, cover song.
Mhm.
So we're going to be doing that with Rich actually. And then we were doing the EP with Paul Miner over at Buzzbomb.
That's great. Yeah,
Cool.
I was talking to Rich, yeah, about that Goodwin Club interview. Um, and I haven't been to that studio in forever. It went by a different name back then when his dad owned it.
Oh wow, that's
That's
crazy.
what, that's what we were talking about back then. Now, has your band ever toured nationally or internationally? And if so, can you tell us of any wild tour stories that you can think of? Nothing too graphic, though.
Sure, sure. Codename Rocky was never much of a touring band. I know they did a tour with Voodoo Glow Skulls kind of at Codename's height, kind of late 90s, early 2000s.
Mhm.
They did like a Texas run, Texas, Arizona, I believe it was. Other than that, we're just kind of, we're all, most of us are married, majority of us have kids. So anymore, it's like a weekender here and there. We did an Orange County, San Diego, and shot up to Berkeley weekender a while back, and we're talking about doing something this summer. But yeah, never been a big touring band.
Okay.
Well, we got to get you guys out there. Maybe a package deal. You guys and Goodwin Club out
Let's do it.
There you
a
go. There you
little
go.
tour like all those other bands do when they come out here with their packages.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We're in.
Now, back in the '90s, I saw Low Pressure and Rich was in that band. But then suddenly they broke up, and I saw Rich in a new band, codenamed Rocky. Can you tell us about how the band was formed? And yeah,
Yeah, so everyone in the band kind of came from different local bands. Rich was in Low Pressure. Actually, our bass player and the original singer guitarist were also in Low Pressure
oh,
towards the end of their time. Um, Bill, trumpet player, was in a band called Channel Six, and then the original trombone player, Mikey and Drew, our drummer, they were in a band called it was first called Grover's Headache, and then they became the
oh,
Grovers.
okay.
Yeah, and then kind of all those bands meshed together and formed Codename Rocky.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I remember seeing Grover's Headache at the showcase. They
Oh
were
yeah,
doing
love
Battle of the
Showcase.
Bands. Yeah,
Oh, that's
actually, my
right.
band was there too, but
Who won?
I think it was Grover Headache one,
Yeah, they were good,
I
man.
believe.
They were good.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they're great. They're great.
You
Uh,
guys, Codename also played at Ska Against Racism tour, right? The one here.
Code Codename didn't, but all those other bands did. Channel Six did, Grover's Headache did, Low Pressure did, but Codename did not.
Could have sworn I saw them on that.
Or maybe they did, but I didn't.
And I could be wrong. I don't know. I have the
Yeah,
list somewhere because
me
I
too.
was there. It was a great show.
I was there. I remember.
Yeah, I had I toured with the Adjustments because I don't know if you know who that band is.
Yeah.
But they that was the last show of our '98 tour that we went on, and it was that one. It was just great watching Blue Meanies
Oh yeah.
and Toasters and a bunch of those other guys. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, that was a fun one. I like
Yeah,
that they still do shows in that little canyon area. They do all the Punk in the Park and stuff over there now.
yeah.
mhm.
That's where I think Jose and I went and saw.
uh,
It was Hepcat and
Hepcat,
Agrolites and
Les and
Toasters,
Jake was there.
Less Than
Binding
Jake.
Bambi also.
They
Yeah,
opened.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of the
Oh, Buster
brouhahas.
Yeah,
Plug,
that's it. That's what it was
Yeah.
called. Brouhaha or
the
Bruce
Yeah.
Brouhaha.
Ska or
Bruce
something.
Ska Ska. So
Yeah.
we played the first Bruce Ska Ska with Aquabats and Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's an awesome lineup.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I Half
Yeah.
Past Two played that also, and
Oh,
I think Skapesh Mode played. Yeah, that was a fun one.
That's awesome.
cool, cool.
So
Now,
now, do you guys ever do like one-off shows, like go to a festival in another country or another state? Because that's like one of the new trends that we've seen with some of the bands that they'll go out and they'll play a festival and come back, or a festival or two and a couple of shows,
Mhm.
clubs, and then come back. Um, do you guys have any plans to ever do something like Supernova or Buffalo Ska Fest or branch out in that area?
Yeah, so we've actually talked about Supernova a couple times, and the dates just kind of haven't worked out for us to be able to do it. But that is something we've talked about. We've also talked about doing Fest out in Florida, and we have done like some of the punk rock bowling, like not punk rock bowling. Yeah, punk rock bowling. Out in Vegas, some of like the bar shows that they have at night and stuff like that. Codename's done that before.
Yeah.
I love playing festivals. Personally, that's my favorite. Shows are awesome, and I love a dirty punk rock venue. But there's something about a festival and just being outdoors during the day, and I don't know. I love it.
Are you
I think
guys
because it's
playing?
different.
Are you guys going to be playing punk rock bowling coming up next couple months, or is it next
No,
month?
not this year. We've actually been I've been talking to the promoters about doing the following year.
Perfect. That's awesome. Now, oh, sorry, Jose. Go ahead.
Yeah, the band has released two singles, right, this year, and
Mhm,
the song "Little Devil" with Talina of Bite Me
mhm.
Bambi, and the song "Killing the Chemist" with Brenna Red of Last Gang.
Yes.
Can you tell us how those two collaborations happened?
Yeah. So both of well, we'll start with Little Devil. That was our first single with Talina. That was one of the songs that we wrote during COVID. And when Drew and I were going through the lyrics, he already had a chorus for it. We started to go through lyrics. We wrote the first verse, and really neither one of us liked anything we were coming up with for the second verse. And then we had the idea, what if we kind of change the perspective and make it like a guy girl thing? Talina was the first person we thought of to do it. So it was really cool that once it came full circle and time to record and time to shoot the video and all that stuff, she was all in, and was great. I mean, way better than even our expectations that we had. And yeah, she knocked out of the park, and she came in prepared, was a total pro. So that was fun. We've known Talina since past bands that she was in before Bambi and stuff like that too. So
Okay.
um, yeah, so that's Devil. And then Killing the Chemist is actually a song that I wrote prior to even being in Codename Rocky. I used to be in a band called Eve of Destruction, and that was a song that I wrote for that band. And then we ended up breaking up. That song's kind of not kind of, but very personal to me. My sister-in-law was diagnosed with cancer when I wrote the song. Her husband is a Marine that was in the first Iraq War, and so if you listen to the lyrics, it's very much like a battle. I kind of used his war experience as the premise, but it's really written kind of about her battle that she was about to take on, and she ultimately won the battle and the war, and it's been, I think, 6 or 7 years since she's been cancer free. So I
Nice.
really, that wasn't written for a female part, but I really wanted to have somebody on there, to represent that female spirit. And Brenna Red and the Last Gang is one of my favorite bands, and Brenna Red is a badass and a pro also, and she came in and knocked out of the park. And I wish, after hearing it, I wish she had a much bigger part.
They're great stories there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
cool.
So
That's
you
cool,
kind of
man.
answered one of my my next question actually, um, which was going to say, are you another band? So you said you were another that other band. What kind
Yep.
of music was this?
So Eva Destruction was very similar style, punk with horns basically. Our old drummer from that band is now the current drummer of the Voodoo Glow Skulls. And when he had joined the band, he had come from like hardcore music, like metal breakdowns and stuff like that. And so some of our newer stuff, we were trying to actually incorporate some of those like blast beats and some of the crazier, real heavy stuff that you really don't hear a lot in ska. So that's what I did there. And then before that, I was in a band called Knockout out of Riverside. And we toured with the Voodoo Glow Skulls quite a bit when I was in the band, and then they kept going for quite a while after I was out.
Got it. That's some good stories there that you got there. Sorry, I'm just trying to
Oh, all
catch
good.
catch up here on this. Yeah, so you guys are kind of looped in with the ska scene,
Mhm.
which more so it seems like than the punk scene.
Mhm.
So do you know why that kind of is? I mean, is it just because ska's more accepting of the different styles that are incorporated with it and punk isn't? Or what? What do you think?
Yeah, I think as soon as anyone sees horns, they're like, "Oh, that's a ska band,"
Yeah.
and you kind of get pigeonholed that way. Recently, we've been doing a lot of shows with some punk bands. I mean, we just played with a band called the Hartwells this last Saturday, who are a four-piece punk band that are badass. We've played with Empire. We're playing with Authority Zero this coming Saturday, and trying to kind of break the mold a little bit, because sometimes I feel like we can be a little too punk for ska, and sometimes I feel like we're a little too ska for punk. So we just got to kind of find that happy medium. And lately with the punk bands, it's been a lot of fun. The crowds have been a little more wild, and getting a little crazier.
Well, keep that up because you guys are doing something right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
And can you tell us the band's influences and favorite past and current ska bands?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Man, I've mentioned Voodoo Glow Skulls a lot. I think whenever you're talking about kind of the third wave of punk with horns, I mean Voodoo's right there at the top of the list. So definitely, them, bands like Less Than Jake. Currently, uh, man, I love the local scene is a lot of fun. You've got bands like Bambi, that are doing really cool things and touring, and same thing with Half Past Two as well. And those are all bands that we've all kind of played with, and to see them able to branch out and go on these month-long tours and stuff like that is really awesome. And I love being kind of in the background, like, those are my friends. You know what I mean? Like that's so rad to see that happen to great people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those bands I used to watch back in the because I used to go live in the San Fernando or San Gabriel Valley
Mm.
when I first was going to a lot of the ska shows and punk shows, and we used to drive all the way to Corona for to go to the showcase. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we've seen Bucko Nine, Voodoo, uh, Knuckle Sandwich, Hopscotch, a bunch of ska and punk bands all on the same bills.
Mhm.
Ezot, for some reason, always used to throw punk and ska together, which
Right.
is a good mix. It's like peanut butter and chocolate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would throw hardcore bands or metal bands or whatever on the same thing. And sometimes the crowds did get along, sometimes they didn't. Do you ever experience any animosity between the crowds when you guys played any of these types of shows?
Um, No, I don't think of so much animosity. I mean, we've definitely seen some fights, stuff like that. Some people aren't built for the pit and probably shouldn't be in it. And that's usually what it is. It's usually kind of somebody who's not a part of the scene or something like that, and they're just kind of they're there to cause trouble or find trouble, stuff like that. But I've seen that, but. uh, Man, we've really never had a whole lot of problems at our shows, and usually when something happens, you're kind of quick to, as soon as you notice it, quick to stop it. And um, if you want the show to happen, then knock it off or stop that shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's your most memorable show experience? Like one show that just stood out that you just had the best time from beginning to end and just it was just amazing.
Oh man, so many shows. I'll just name the most recent awesome experience was the October 5th NoFX farewell show.
Oh yeah.
So we went to the Saturday and Sunday. We unfortunately missed the Friday, but the cool thing about the Saturday one was that was my oldest daughter's 13th birthday. And that's what she wanted to do for her 13th birthday was go see NoFX. So proud dad day. And I was able to talk to some people, and we were able to get backstage and hang out and kind of watch the whole show from behind the stage and all that. And what a cool thing to be able to experience that with my daughter for her birthday. And yeah, so that was recently one of the most cool experiences I've had.
So she's a NoFX fan then.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, she loves NoFX. She's really into punk. And Bad Cop's one of her favorite bands. She's got to meet those ladies a few times, and they're always awesome to her. And again, Voodoo Glow Skull is one of her favorite bands too. And it's funny, she's got all these set lists all over her wall in her room. And we had a fire scare when all those fires were happening. And my wife had said, "Hey, kind of get some stuff together that you want to take out. All of her, like those bigger bands, but all the Codename Rocky set lists, they all stayed when it was time to evacuate.
And what age is she?
She just turned 13 in October.
Oh, okay. So she understands what white trash, two Hebes, and a bean means.
She does. Yeah. I'm real open with it, especially with music. There's you can learn some really awesome stuff with some really wild stuff all at the same time. So always been never really censored my kids with music and stuff like that. I want them to be able to explore, and my dad was a musician, so I got to be able to explore, his music plus my own taste too.
Yeah. And the Ribbed album too?
She doesn't understand what that is. That's just a big red square as well.
Yeah. What's it mean? Trojan. What's that mean?
Yeah. It's the old reggae record label.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's pretty awesome. Now, what about as a band?
Mhm.
One show that stood out to you guys, that maybe a band that you've always wanted to play with, that you had seen, and now you're finally playing on stage with them, on the same stage with them. Any experiences like that?
Yeah, we did a show with Less Than Jake at the Terragram Ballroom right before COVID.
Mhm.
And it was one of the last shows on their tour, and we had never played with them in a show like that. We've done like festivals where we're on it and they're on it, but it's like we played at noon and they played at 9, kind of thing. Um, so to be able to do that, to be on their show, and we were the only local support. It was a 3-band tour that was coming through, and we were able to get on, and that was really cool. I think that was a really fun moment. The last show we did in January at the Garden Amp was also awesome. The Ska Smackdown. I don't know if you guys saw that lineup, but that was Voodoo and Mustard Plug and Bucko Nine and
Yeah.
Mata Mosca. And yeah, I mean, one of the cooler things for me is we played in the locker room, the smaller room in the back. And I had people coming up to me afterward, like, "Oh man, I missed you guys. I tried to go inside and I couldn't get through the door because the room was so packed."
Wow.
And those they all went wild that night, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, those are two that kind of jump out at me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I think my favorite bands on that show would have been you guys and the Goodwin Club.
Yeah, Goodwin Club played earlier than that too. I
Some
mean,
of the
there's so many bands that played.
There were so many. Half Past Two was there.
Hmm.
Who was that?
Can't believe I
Did
missed it.
Ruffalo's play? I think they
Rough,
played there.
Yeah.
yes, Ruffalo's did play. Yep.
Yeah, I think they play. Yeah, they've been doing well lately.
Yeah, totally.
No, sometimes on. I'm sorry, Jose. Did you have a question?
No, go ahead. No, go
Okay.
ahead.
So sometimes on the show we talked about this off camera. I'm kind of spoiling some things, but sometimes we ask occupations.
Mhm.
Because this whole gig with bands and people like us or whatever, we've got to have a real,
Yeah.
a real payday somewhere, something that pays us. For you, what is that? Your real occupation?
So I'm a general manager for a collision repair company in Costa Mesa, and small world. You're in a similar field, and I'm sure we probably actually talked to
Yeah.
each other at some point in the last 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah, I know. I handle claims adjusting for auto insurance, and it's a hand in hand
Yeah.
occupation there. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so I've been doing that, my whole adult life. I was never really into cars. I just I needed a job, and I was 20 and took a job, and I've been doing it for the rest of my life. So
That's awesome. Now, I don't know if you remember back. Well, I'm sure you do. Back in the day, compilations, comp
Mm,
CDs or albums or whatever were a big deal for people learning about new bands.
yeah.
Now, I'm sure Codename Rocky has been on some of these compilations, national and international. Do you feel that your band has gained more exposure from having been on some of these comps?
Totally. I mean, even just as, a music fan, I've discovered so many bands because of compilation CDs.
Mhm.
And we it's a totally different format now. Now they're either on vinyl or they're, digital, but we still try and jump on them whenever we can because you never know who's going to listen. We actually our Spotify Wrapped last year, our number 2 country was Germany, which was like
Oh,
so wild. Like we've never been over there, or and to be number 2 out of 5, and I really think it's from stuff like compilation CDs from us, having the guest artists on our albums and stuff like that, and just being exposed through accident, basically.
So your band, we know the basics: drum, guitar, bass, vocals. How big of a horn section do you guys actually have?
So we have four. We have two trumpets, a trombone, and a saxophone. So there's 8 of us total in the band.
Oh, does that make it pretty difficult fitting on a stage?
Yeah, I
Unless
actually,
you're playing at the Garden Amp, that's a big ass stage.
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay. But we just played Saturday at the Sardine,
Yeah,
and I
and that
was
is a sardine.
it is, and we felt it. I mean, I could go forward and backward, but I couldn't go left and right on the
Yeah.
stage. And when I first got there, I met with the sound guy and kind of going over what the mics that we're going to need. And we're going to need 5 mics. Is that okay? He's like, I'm not worried about mics. I'm worried about how I'm going to fit you all on the stage. Got you.
So
But we made it.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes I've been to shows there where sometimes some of the band members, if they're too big, will be on the floor.
Yeah. Yep. We've had to do that at the
Yeah.
Doll Hut where we put the horns on the floor, and because only the rhythm section and me would fit on the stage.
Oh my God. Is this the Doll
Wow.
Hut in LA, or there's another one in Orange County?
Yeah, one in Anaheim.
In Anaheim, that's right.
Yeah.
That's craziness. Now, for your music, where can we find it, both digital and physical media, if we need to purchase anything or hear?
Yeah. As far as physical media, everything's through Wiretap Records. So wiretap.com. The only thing we have right now is our vinyl. Everything else, as far as like other merch, like shirts and stickers and pins and all that kind of stuff, you would have to get, at a show. But as far as finding things digitally, we're everywhere on, Spotify, anywhere you can stream music. You can throw our songs on your stories on Instagram if you want to. And the only thing that isn't digital is the very first album, No Time to Waste, which I think is a crime against humanity.
Mhm.
That's this one, right?
Yep, that one is not available digitally.
Is there a reason for that?
It has something to do with the record label and whatever contract was signed at the time. I don't believe Codename Rocky owns the songs as far as being able to release them without Microcosm.
Got it.
Oh.
Now, but you guys also have a Bandcamp, right?
Yes, yeah, we have
But
Bandcamp.
are we able to purchase merchandise from there as well? Like some of the old stuff, or t-shirts, stickers, some of the old CDs?
No, everything's just through Wiretap for the new stuff, and then or live in person at the shows.
Or Discogs?
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. Jose, did you have anything else there?
No, I actually no. I'm sorry, but I don't have
Oh,
anything
okay.
else. Yeah.
So what does the future hold for your band? When we touch base on, a little bit of what you guys are doing. So what do you feel your band wants to accomplish? Do you guys want to go touring, national touring? Do you guys want to get signed, or you just want to play your music and just live as you guys are? What aspirations are there? Because I know there's some bands that just want to shoot to the top, and there's others that have been around for almost 25 years, like you guys, that are slow and steady throughout, but they're not like, I guess, what do you call it? I always, a lot of my references go back to Scarface, like when he says, those who last in the game, when Frank says those who last in the game fly straight, you
Right.
know, those who want it all and everything like that don't last long. So
Yeah.
you guys have lasted long. What is your secret recipe to longevity?
Yeah, I mean, as far as lasting, I mean, there has been some lineup changes, but I mean, for the most part, we're still, 50-50. We got with original members, so which I think is pretty good. Our drummer and our bass player are original guys as well. So there has been some changeover, but as far as moving forward and what we want to do, I think we're really doing it. We're not a band that's going to play, every single weekend. We're not a band that's going to do big national tours, but we love to play, when we can and where we can. And at this point, I think it's more about quality than quantity for us. We're all dads. I think all of us, but two. So we all have kind of other stuff going on. So we just want to play some cool shows with friends and have a good time and release some awesome music that we enjoy writing and playing and performing, and hopefully everyone enjoys it right back.
Awesome. Now, you guys have how many videos for your songs that have been released so far?
So four total. Post Prescription was our first video off of Blueprint, and that wasn't that was like a footage video, where it was just like clips from different shows and things like that. We shot some stuff like inside our studio just for like filler type stuff, and then we released a lyric video for Silos, which is also on Blueprint. And then we released Little Devil with Chris Grau. He shot and directed that video. He does a lot of stuff for a lot of the local bands and Fat Records bands and things like that. He's awesome. So he did that one, and he did Killing the Chemist. He did both of those for us.
That's pretty awesome.
Cool.
And do you guys normally record with the same engineer over, the course of several records? Somebody that you trust?
Yeah. So Paul Miner at Buzzbomb, he has had a hand in every single Codename Rocky recording. So he was an engineer on No Time to Waste. He mastered and mixed Infinity. He mastered and mixed Reboot, and then he recorded, mastered, and mixed Blueprint and Foundation.
And the next stuff coming out, I'm sure.
And the next stuff,
Cool.
yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, that's why we want to do, something with Rich. We love Rich. We've known him forever. We love working with Paul, but it was like, okay, let's just do and actually, you're talking about the compilations. Let's just do a cover. And then when compilation stuff comes up, we'll go record it with Rich, and we can throw it on comps around there, and it'll be a song people maybe know and a fun one.
Yeah. So for you personally, what is your favorite song to play, and the reason why?
Ooh. Wow, that was a great question. I like playing a lot of the No Time to Waste songs. I am always the advocate for that one because to me that's just classic Codename Rocky. So I wish we played more songs off there. I like playing oh man, I can't think of the name of it. Lost Highway. Lost Highway is one of my favorite songs to play and to feel it, and the energy of just kind of everyone what they're doing, and the crowd always responds well to it. And I wish we played it a lot more.
So you don't get a choice in the songs, or
We do, but it's there's
writes the
eight
set list?
personalities, and so we try and pick from every album, and kind of touch a little bit of everything, mostly leaning towards the newer stuff. We definitely play more of the newer stuff. That's the stuff that's mostly me, with my voice on it and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
what we've been pushing the last couple of years. So I love playing those songs too. I mean, Post Prescriptions, I love that song. I love playing Little Devil because it's a lower register song, so it's not as tough to sing it. So we kind of play that middle end of the set.
Nice.
It's like a little break for me.
So is there a band like you would wish to be on the same bill?
Oh man, yeah. I have a list of like
Yeah.
bands that I've played with and bands that I would love to play with. Probably number one that I haven't played with and probably would never will get to now would be the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, never got to play with them, and I felt like right when Codename was kind of gaining some solid momentum was when they broke up. So that was a huge bummer. Them and like Pharmaceutical Bandits, man, I would, and only if they have that name when we play with them. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know they had to change it to RX Bandits for some reason.
Yeah, people probably couldn't say pharmaceutical.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it is a mouthful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. There was and I was talking to Rich Zonizer about this the other
Mm,
day. Um, when I was on tour with the Hippos in '97, the saxophonist had quit the band
mm.
on there, and then a few years later, he ends up on a different band, which is the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Oh, no way.
So uh Roman Fleischer left the Hippos to go play with the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And I thought that was pretty wild because they're always touring or they
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
always touring.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just kind of like what do you call it? I don't know if catch 22, but it's it kind of defeats the purpose for that. But
Right.
they're young kids at the time.
Man, and well, if I could play with any band, it would be the Hippos. I have a Hippos tattoo
You do
on my
not.
I
No
do on my
way.
leg. Yeah, I so my right
Can we
leg
see it?
from
Would you
no, I'm
mind
wearing
showing?
pants. I have
Okay.
pants on. But I'll send you a picture though.
Yeah.
But it's my right leg is all different ska band logos, and so the Hippos were very hard because they didn't have a logo. So I had to find just like a random, I think it was a T-shirt design, and they used to have those like Lisa Frank, like skull and crossbones, like Lisa
Yeah.
Frank style.
Hmm.
So it's the skull and crossbones.
I remember that one. But there actually was a logo. There was it was a hippo with the
The la-
Jesus fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well,
I've
I
got
remember because all that fucking merch we had to sell.
yeah,
And
right.
sitting on tour at the merch table while what's his name? Kevin Kusatsu did all the pranks and then did all the stuff on stage with the band.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the fun stuff. And I had to sit there and deal with the promoters.
Oh,
But wow, I didn't know that you were that big of a Hippos fan. It's so funny because now I hear a lot of stuff. Oh, Hippos this, Hippos that. It's like, wow, where were you guys when we
oh, I was there. I was every Orange County show. I was there.
yeah, yeah,
Man, it was my parents in their backyard still have like my boom box from when I was a kid,
uh-huh.
and it's got three hippo stickers across the front of
Oh God.
it.
We were just talking about part of that first tour because I don't know if you know this band called The Gain.
It doesn't sound familiar.
They're kind of like a mod punk type of thing. Type of band, and they're just so good. Their drummer is named Corky Pigeon,
Okay.
and he was in the TV show Silver Spoons with
Okay.
Ricky Schroeder and all of them.
Mhm.
He was the blonde kid with the glasses, Freddie, or I think it was his name.
Really?
Yeah, do
How
you remember that
funny.
show?
No, I remember the
Yeah.
show, but not enough to remember the characters.
Yeah. So Corky is the drummer of the Gain, and the Hippos played with them. God, I don't know where, somewhere in maybe Colorado or something like that. I don't forget.
Mm,
It was a record store that they played with them, but I've loved this band ever since. And now
nice.
they haven't been playing in a while, and they're going to play August 6th at LA somewhere with a
Oh,
bunch of
wow.
other punk bands. And I definitely wanted to go. I think that's April. Yes, I think it's next week.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
but
rad.
that's a big band that I have like almost everything from the game. They're pretty awesome.
I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, check that one out. That's a good band you should check out for sure.
Now you said you would like to cover a song. What
Mhm.
song would you like to cover?
Um, so we have a song that we're already going to do that we're going to be releasing. It's
Oh,
a Go-Go's cover called Has the Whole World Lost Its Head? So that's a song that I don't know if you listen to the lyrics, it is just as relevant in 2025 as it was in 85 or whenever it was released, and not in kind of very good way, but just kind of how crazy this place is where we live, and not just here, but all over the world, and it's a fun song. It's a really cool song, but when you listen to the lyrics kind of at their core and at their meaning, then you really hear, there's a message that comes through for sure.
Cool, cool.
yeah. I'm having to touch on some of the dumb fuck administration that we have now. Something like that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I may or may not have altered a couple words to kind of fit that.
Trying to be politically correct over there, huh?
Well, I don't know if I can get sued or not for changing them, but or deported at this point. I don't know.
So what about following you guys? What are we talking about? Instagram? Are we talking about Twitter? Where you guys where we can
Instagram and
follow?
Facebook. Definitely Instagram. We're most active on Instagram. We do the bands in town and Bandcamp stuff too, but everything kind of feeds off of Instagram. So the most current, most up to date is always Instagram for sure.
Okay, and that's where you go ahead and announce your shows on there as well?
Yep. Yeah. Any Codename Rocky news, whether it's shows or releases or anything like that, new merch will always be up there. And every so often we'll do like ticket giveaways for bigger shows and bundle some merch with it and stuff like that. So Instagram is definitely the best place to find all that.
That's pretty awesome. Looks like we never got Bill here, which is
bummer.
unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate for him. I guess we'll have to let him know about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna kind of wrap it up just because normally when we try to schedule these, we've got enough questions for enough people. Like it would have been a little longer if Bill was here.
Sure, for sure.
But the thing is, we just got those formatted questions. Anything that you would like to let the listeners know about your band, something that we haven't touched on yet, something on your mind or the band's mind, anything like that you want to let us know?
No, I mean, I think we touched on pretty much everything. Or we love seeing people, familiar faces and new faces out at shows. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you haven't heard Codename Rocky, or I get all the time like, oh man, Codename Rocky, I remember that band. Well, guess what? We never went away. So come on out and tell us a Codename Rocky story, or tell us your favorite song from back in the day, and hopefully we can get these old heads to put some of those older songs back in the set list there.
You got to write a song that says "We're still here."
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
That is awesome. Well, Justin, we appreciate the time you took to speak with us about everything. Thank you very much. We can't wait to see what Codename Rocky has coming up in the future. We'll all follow you on all those streamings services there. We'll see you at the next show. Appreciate your time very much. Thank you, and you have a great day. Hold on, we'd like to talk after. Okay?
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you. Hello, Skankers. Jose here, aka Skanky Force. Will you like to win a free Ska Box? It's as easy as following Ska Box Rocks and Stiff Dog Records on Instagram and Facebook. And subscribe to Ska History Hour on YouTube and comment Ska Box Rocks in any video to enter. Good luck!